It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Hey, welcome everyone to the Luzerne County Report with our County Manager, Romilda Crocamo, and we just survived election. A lot of things happening. Now today we're going to give you an update of what's happening in the county. Remember, my friends, I'm getting your emails. And I've just discussed some of the things, some of the activities of what's happening in the county. So we can't cover everything, so every month we try to give you a little bit of information. But the email is sam@ssptv.com. For those of you who are in the Wilkes-Barre area, appreciate that. You're starting to realize that we're on every Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 11 p.m. on Channel 92. So we cover the entire Luzerne County, so it's between 7 and 11 Saturdays and Sundays. Romilda Crocamo joins us. He's a county manager. So the election, okay, so we survived the drop-off.
Made it through.
We made it through, and thank God there was no major incidents and
Correct.
nothing, which was your concern, rightly so. And hopefully the next year we'll have things under control.
It's we're going to do a review of the past election, review what went right, what went wrong, make improvements, and then I announced that I'm forming a task force. Hopefully we'll get interested parties, both voters and people who are involved in politics, because really the legislature has to do something about it.
What has to be changed, Romilda?
Well, we talked about this with the drop boxes. The legislature has to say either no drop boxes, or if there are drop boxes, how many we need per population. They have to give us the funding. They have to give us minimums as to security and have the operating procedures that we need to follow. So that's the drop boxes, but we have mail-in ballots, and then we have mail-in ballots on demand. What happened was we have to send out tens of thousands of mail-in ballots, and then for maybe about a week, people can come into Penn Place to the bureau and ask for a mail-in ballot, which means we have to cancel the original ones, which means it's more work, and it really is. It's cumbersome. We have very antiquated equipment that the state provides. The legislature has to give money to the state Department of State and to the counties. We can't function. We had 2 printers that had over 1 million print jobs. One, the technician couldn't. He said it was done. I had to send somebody on a Friday afternoon to Harrisburg to get another printer because we can't go to Best Buy and buy a printer, right? We have to get one from the state because it's wired into the state. So there are things like that need to be corrected and to make it more efficient for the bureaus and make it easier for the voters.
Going back in time a little bit, okay, when I was going to vote, we would vote on voting day.
Yeah, election day.
At the end of the night, you knew who won. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you also had some people that either were sick or were out of town that had qualified for mail-in ballot. Okay. So what happened from that to craziness? Okay.
Well, I mean, I understand when we had COVID that maybe people didn't want to go out to the polls. I get that. COVID's over. And we have this really clunky mail-in ballot, mail-in on demand system. Technically we don't have early voting. We could do something like set up actual voting stations and have people come in and vote early if they needed to. But it really is.
That's an excellent idea. That is
once in a while. Once every 60 years, like clockwork.
Guess what? That is an excellent idea because this way you eliminate a lot of that stuff. Okay.
Right.
I mean, and people are always nervous about, the stealing.
Right.
What I can't understand about the drop boxes. Okay. So now, when we just got off the phone with Mike DeCosmo, when Mike
Right.
was on the show, we did our pre-election show, we talked about, well, sometimes a person can't make it, so we bring it to Dropbox. But don't we have mailboxes?
We have mailboxes.
I
They
mean,
can
they're
come to
down
the
at
bureau.
almost every corner?
Right.
Excuse
Yeah.
me.
Right. And we can make it a lot more streamlined and a lot easier for the voters and for the counties. And so I'm putting this task force together. If somebody's interested, they should email me. It's my first name, Romilda.Crocamo@LuzerneCounty.org. Because we need to send a message to Harrisburg that our elected officials have to do their job and they have to fix this.
Are you convinced that everything was up and up?
It was a fair, free, and safe election. I mean, we had some incidents. I got to tell you, when we had the mail-in ballot on demand, somebody came in and spat on one of my workers.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, so, we had incidents like that, and then election day, late in the evening, we did have a bomb scare. It wasn't, necessarily a credible one, but we did request our district attorney, Sam Sanguadolci, a very good friend of mine, and very, very aware of safety concerns. He was able to get a bomb-sniffing dog from Scranton to come down and go through the building, just to make sure the workers, because the workers know they needed to be reassured. But the election was fair and free, and it was we ran a good election.
We have in the state legislature, okay, so do you need a specific person, a state legislator, to bring this to a vote, or
Any one of them.
Anyone.
Anyone, and I will work with any one of them. If they need assistance, I'll help draft the legislation. I'm in on it.
Good. What specifically then, if I was a state legislator, what would you ask me to do, okay, in terms of this mail-in situation?
Well, I really think they should have early voting, and the mail-in ballot should be,
So would that be
absentee ballots. I mean, we've always had that. We've
Yeah.
always had
Yes,
absentee.
yes,
People
yes.
are away.
Yeah.
We have emergency ballots. People get sick. But it would be, I think it would be cleaner and more efficient if we just had early voting. Let us put up the machines up in the bureau. People can vote early.
How
And-
early are we talking about?
A few weeks before.
Yeah. So in other words, it would be just like going to vote. But if
On a
you know-
machine.
Yeah, on a machine. So you know that you're not going to be around for election day. So now would it be open for 1 day or 2 days, or what? How long would that?
It could be about 2 weeks beforehand.
So in other words, that's open for 2 weeks, and you have every opportunity of going there. Would that
Right.
polling place be only one location?
It would be at the bureau. It would be in the building where the bureau is.
Okay. So that's it. There'd
Right,
only be one
right.
voting place.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of different options to explore, and I'm certainly not an expert, but I really I want to put a package together. I want to go to our representatives and say, please do something. Pick an option, please. We need to have that.
The election next year, as you mentioned, will be a municipal election, okay? Explain to our viewers what a municipal election is.
Well, we just experienced a federal election, a presidential election. The municipal elections are on odd number years, so it's 2025. So we will have a judicial seat on the ballot. We were allowed to have another judicial seat for the Court of Common Pleas, so that will be on the ballot. 5 of our council member seats will be on the ballot, and then we have school districts, your borough councils, all that gets on the municipal election. And if a township or bureau or municipality has a question that they want to put on the election, that goes on as well.
So in terms of a municipal election, okay, how very important it is, okay, because you have, like you said, you have the councilman. When you're looking for, in your case, your council, and you work very closely with them, you have a good exchange.
Yes.
And you could see by having a leader such as you, you could see things being accomplished, okay? It reminds me of when Pedri was in.
Yeah,
You know, I
Dave.
mean, progress was
Excellent.
done, et cetera, because you had a good administrator. So looking at, you know, what if someone's interested in running for council, all right, and you have a good council now, I don't know if they'll want to if they want to be reelected or whatever. What do you look for as a county manager in a council person?
I want someone who puts Luzerne County first. I want someone who wants to think about moving Luzerne County forward economically, and I want someone who's going to promote Luzerne County. And we need to take care of ourselves here in Luzerne County, and I want someone who's committed with that. I want someone who has an open mind, who listens. We have council members now who listen. We have an exchange. We talk to each other. They have ideas. I work with those ideas. I have ideas. They work with the ideas that I bring to them. And we come to a consensus and an understanding to just do what's right for Luzerne County. Far too long, Luzerne County has been put down, and I am tired of it. I don't want to hear it. We have to really promote Luzerne County. There's so much going on here. We have so much creativity and beauty, and we are primed for economic development, good economic development, that we can get high-paying jobs. We have to work on housing. We can do that together. We can do that together, and that's what I'm looking for in a council member.
You know, I remember I was talking to, I think I mentioned to you, advisory boards, advisory committees. They're so important because there's so many people that I know personally, okay, that have their talents, and they just, you know, they retired, you know, and I'm just hoping that we can get that, you know, particularly, you know, we have a judgeship coming up, et cetera, you know. Recently, you talked about no need to borrow money. When I come back after a break, I want to discuss that.
Absolutely.
Okay? Folks, I'm talking to Romilda Crocamo, who is our county manager, Luzerne County Manager. Once again, sam@ssptv.com is my email. And as you know, my friends, we do a number of reports. We do the Luzerne County Community College report, and that's been very interesting, bringing a lot of information of what this college really does for Luzerne County and other counties. We have the Hazelden Area School District report, and you'll be able to see what's happening in their report. We just did the cadets. It's currently running. And we have the mayor's report, Mayor Cassett. We have the Schuylkill report, and we have the mayor's report starting again in January in Pottsville. As you know, Mayor Cruz took early retirement. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this. Well, welcome back to the Luzerne County Report. We give you a report every month. We have various guests on. Of course, the main person is Romilda Crocamo, who is our county manager. And let me tell you, doing a fabulous job for the county. And she's sitting here, but she's doing a great job, as you can see. Speaking of a great job, we don't have to borrow money for something.
No, we don't.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about what's called a tax anticipation note, which means we borrow money for January, February, and March to pay for our bills until we get tax revenue in. And historically, we've had to do that. And the interest on that loan is about $400,000. But we're in a position now that we don't need to do that. So we don't need to do this borrowing, which means we don't have to pay back the $400,000 in interest. And we're going to get through January, February, and March before the tax monies come in and be fine. And it's more than just numbers on a balance sheet. It means that we're getting really fiscally healthy. I mean, we still have a big debt payment every year, and we will have that until about 2029, but we really are in a great position. Unfortunately, our friends to the north in Lackawanna County are increasing taxes to 33%.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they need this tax anticipation note. We don't. We didn't increase taxes for 2025, and we're not doing any borrowing. So kudos to council, previous council members, and our fiscal department, and all of the departments who are really, really buying in to the belief that we can be efficient and not reduce services, actually expand services.
I say this every month. That's amazing because I know what it is. You know, when you have maintaining these services and you need the revenue, and then all of a sudden you have to either give up 10% or whatever,
Right.
and then still continue to do the services. Boy, you're scratching your head. And you said kudos, congratulations to your team on the county. And you know, I know you, and I'm not trying to flatter, but it comes from a good administrator. It comes from we had, you know, with Pedri, and
Yeah.
you know, I had my doubts way back when we started this county management, but as one of your vice chairman who was Thornton.
Yeah, Brian Thornton.
Yeah,
he's the vice chair.
He opened my eyes when he said, well, when you had the county commissioners, what they would do is borrow money
Right.
to pay these things, okay? And that's what we did develop the debt.
Right.
I mean, that's exactly what
That's
happened.
exactly what happened, yes.
And so what you do through fiscal management is able to maintain the same services with the taxes. So what do you see for 2025?
Well, some of the projects that I want to do, we have over 300 bridges, and they really have not been maintained, probably for 20 years and decades. So we're starting a maintenance program, and I got this idea from Mike Lombardo, who's the mayor of Pittston. Great guy. Pittston is really doing wonderful and great. And he was speaking, and he was talking about how they rejuvenated Pittston City. And he said they started by refurbishing buildings, and then they realized they had to refurbish and develop blocks. And I was thinking, well, the county, we don't have blocks in the same way a city does, but we have assets like bridges that we can look at as a block and start maintaining them. So we're going to bundle a group of bridges, and we're going to start a maintenance program. We have the ability to prioritize which ones need a certain amount of work, and we're going to maintain it. And then the following year, we're going to start on another bundle of bridges, and almost like what they do with the Golden Gate Bridge, right? They paint it, and then as soon as they're done, they start all over again. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm really excited about that, actually, because we have to maintain what we have. And the same thing with our buildings. We have to make sure our buildings are maintained as well. But my big push for 2025 is to start this maintenance program on our roads and our bridges.
So I could see you standing on the hill, and someone says, what about that bridge? And you say, we'll cross that bridge when we come up to it.
Yeah, as long as I don't say I'm going to take the bridge, I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Well, it's interesting. So that's in the budget, right? Okay. Other things in the county, when we break down the different, how many departments are we talking about?
35. We have 35
35 departments.
Yeah.
And, keeping on top of each department is a challenge. Is there anything that, we're talking about reports, and I forgot one interesting report. Why I forgot, I have no idea. We do a Visit Luzerne report.
Right.
Okay, with Alan Stout and his...
Oh, Alan's great.
Yeah, I mean, and since we started that show, it's opened my eyes to what Luzerne County has to offer.
It's amazing.
My
it's
God.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
On a note that, Alan will be involved in, we have such a beautiful courthouse, right? And the lawns around the courthouse are beautiful. I would like to have maybe some concerts, we have Rock in the River, we're going to have that, but maybe, have, some string quartets or something like that on the south lawn. because it's such a beautiful, beautiful space. We're upgrading our website. We'll have virtual tours of the courthouse, and we're going to feature our monuments that are on the south lawn. It's just a beautiful, beautiful area.
So you also have, I'm thinking about the rotunda, you have the Christmas tree coming in.
It's coming. Yeah.
So when will that
Monday.
be?
It's coming Monday, and we're having the tree lighting on December 2nd.
Okay, and so that'll be open up until maybe mid-July or the first week of July.
July. We'll have it open for July.
January.
No, we'll have it there.
Oh, I'm saying July, January.
Christmas in July.
Yeah. So, but it is a beautiful courthouse. Okay. And,
we're so blessed.
you know, and you said you'll do a virtual tour?
Yeah, we're going to have virtual tours. Hopefully, Tony Brooks, he's councilman in Wilkes-Barre, he does tours. Hopefully, he'll be gracious enough to do the virtual tours.
I think that'd be great. And as I mentioned, at one time I'd like to do this show at the courthouse.
You're welcome anytime.
You know, when you're talking about specific things, and you know, we used to when I was on the trustee board at the college. We started our meetings there at the courthouse.
Right.
Okay, and then we gradually moved up to the
Right,
campus.
and that college, the community college, is just such a great asset. I can't speak more highly of what they can do. It's just amazing.
You want to talk about politics? I've told you some of the stories when we were building that college.
Yeah.
Okay, and some of the, you know, thank God we had people like Mike Odasic, God rest his soul.
Right.
And with the authority and my trustees, we had, I mean, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, and we went through all the nonsense, and look what we have. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Paid off.
When I go there now, I say, we started, I mean,
Yeah.
it was amazing, you know. Remember, my friends, if you have any questions or any comments you'd like to make, we're looking for good people. We're looking for good people. We have, Miller wants to start a task force. Now, the task force is basically looking to look into what?
To look into how we can make elections more efficient, and so that we can bring our requirements, our position to our legislature, our representatives in Harrisburg.
All right. Well, we'll see you before Christmas, hopefully.
Absolutely.
All right. And my friends, it's sam@ssptv.com for your information. Once again, for those of you who have friends in Mountaintop and Wilkes-Barre and the rest of the county, Saturdays and Sunday evenings on Service Electric Cable Communications, Channel 92. We've been there for years. Of course, we're in the Comcast 190 in Pottsville for every day. And Channel 13 and 513, 24/7. We'll see you next time.